In the last two lessons, we're going to use not just quadratic equations, but quadratic functions. And a quadratic function is going to be a relationship, and it will have a graph that we could look at. Now, quadratic functions either look like f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, and that is called general form, or f of x is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k, and that's called standard form. In college algebra, you may look at the method of switching one to the other. In here, we're going to limit what we look at. Mostly what we're going to look at, what we're going to talk about, is the graph. The graph of a quadratic function is this shape, which is somewhat of a U shape, and it is called a parabola. So that shape is a parabola. If the a value in the equation, no matter which form it's in, they both have an a. If the a value is positive, it opens up. If the a value is negative, it opens down. There are several important points on a parabola. There is the bottommost point, or it could be called the topmost point, depending on which way it opens up. That point is called the vertex. There are possibly two x-intercepts. There is at most one y-intercept. In our class, all we're really going to focus on is the vertex. The vertex, because it is a special point, we don't just call it xy. The vertex is the maximum or the minimum point, and instead of calling it xy, we have special letters. We call it HK. But the H is the x coordinate of the vertex, the K is the y coordinate of the vertex. There is a line which is not part of the graph, but there is what might be called sometimes the folding line. It is truly, it is an axis of symmetry. For any point on the left side, there is a matching opposite point on the right side. The axis of symmetry always goes through the vertex. It has to. The vertex is the point at which it separates from left and right. If you have a vertical line, we remember this, I hope, vertical lines all have the form x equals something. And if they go through the vertex, then the axis of symmetry has the equation x equals h. So the axis is a vertical line. It is x equals h, and the h is the first coordinate of the vertex. Now, these things are pretty easy to find if your quadratic is in this standard form, because there's the opposite of h, and there's k, and there's a telling you which way it opens up. So we are going to very much limit what we're going to do in this course. All right, problem number 1. You are given f of x is 4 parentheses x minus 2 quantity squared plus 3. Questions. What is the vertex? Type an ordered pair. Well, the vertex is h, comma, k. You have to remember that the standard form is a times x minus h squared plus k. The number in this position is the opposite of h. The number in this spot is k. So you simply have to remember that it is the opposite of this number. So if this is -2, then the coordinate for h is 2. This number you keep. The vertex is the point 2, 3. Always opposite of this number, take this number. The axis of symmetry, type an equation. So the axis is always x equals, and then all you have to do is grab the h value 2. It is the line x equals 2. So 2, 3 is the vertex. X equals 2 is the axis of symmetry, a vertical line. All right, let's look at the next one. I have f of x is equal to 3 times x minus 4 quantity squared plus 2. The vertex. It is the opposite of this number, so it's 4, but it is this number exactly, 2. The axis of symmetry is a vertical line. It is x equals what? X equals 4. Remember, this means that this parabola has opens upward because that's positive, and this is its bottommost point. Okay, let's look at number 3. We have f of x is equal to 3 parentheses x minus 6 squared plus 4. The vertex, opposite of that for h, so it's positive 6. Keep that number for k, it's positive 4. The axis is the vertical line x equals, goes through this point, so it's x equals 6. This is a parabola which opens up. Let's take a minute to talk about it. It opens upward because that's a positive number. The vertex is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. The vertex is there. This is not at all accurate, but just as a sketch, it opens up like that. It might be a little thinner. If I went back to this one, the vertex is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It opens upward because 3 is positive, and it looks something like that. The very first one, the vertex is here, and it opens upward. Although we don't really need to draw this, but there is an axis of symmetry cutting through that point. Axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Okay, let's look at number 4. You're not asking these questions to do the graph. It's a little bit tedious to do it in my math lab, so I just deleted questions that had you graph. So we have f of x is equal to 2 parentheses x minus 4 squared plus 3. What's the vertex, which is the maximum or the minimum? It is opposite of this number, so it's 4. Keep that number 3. The axis of symmetry is x equals 4. All right, this last one looks a little weird. We have g of x, just a different name, 2 parentheses x plus 3 over 2 quantity squared. You notice there's nothing here, which means, although it won't be written, it's plus 0. But it is a quadratic. The vertex is the opposite of this, so it's negative 3 over 2, comma, this number, 0. The axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3 over 2. All right, so you're not asked to do any graphing in this lesson. We'll leave that for college algebra. It's pretty easy to figure out the vertex and the axis of symmetry when you are given standard form.